Chelsea Green is now back in the spotlight, and she blames probably all of us for having to deactivate her Twitter as if she has no control over her own actions. We are all responsible for her deactivating her Twitter account because she provided a political view that some people didn't like or agree with. Is there anything more cowardly than providing a view publicly that you offered voluntarily to the masses, and then you get an opinion you don't like and you deactivate the account to which you originally posted your said views? That's cowardice. That's intellectual cowardice. And you may say, well, she doesn't want to deal with harassment. Okay, so don't open the app if you don't want to go into it. But to deactivate it, I know the message she's trying to send is she was getting harassed. And sure, I'm sure there's some clowns out there who said some inappropriate things. I don't see any specific things that are death threats or anything like that. It just seems to be that a lot of her viewers perhaps are on the opposite end of the aisle and don't agree with her political view. So let's go over with what she said. Now, I try to stay out of politics, but more often than not now, we're getting a crossover of politics and wrestling. It's happening more and more. So I'm reporting on it. And I'll give you my take in a minute. So here's the report. This is according to Ringside News. And this is not just Ringside News. It's everywhere. This is not a clickbait. So the headline is Chelsea Green deactivates Twitter after harassment over MAGA accusation. Now, harassment's a pretty strong word. I think what they mean by harassment is disagreement. That's how we reframe disagreement today, is harassment. That way you don't have to deal with anybody's conflicting opinions, so that you just label it as harassment and hate. That way you don't have to acknowledge it intellectually, which just shows how weak you are. Nonetheless, so it says Chelsea Green shut down a fake MAGA claim, and the fallout apparently got ugly enough for her to leave Twitter altogether. Green deactivated her account after getting backlash and harassment for making it clear she's not MAGA and identifies as liberal or Democrat. The whole thing started when a hater, some random fan, accused her of being MAGA and claimed people were only now admitting she was, quote, trash. And Chelsea didn't let that rumor breathe. She fired back by saying fans can criticize her for her looks all they want, but they're not going to spread lies about her politics. So here's what she said, quote, I can handle you saying things about my looks or my talent, but what you won't do is spread lies about my political views. I guess that's where she draws the line. You know, say whatever you want about anything at all, but my religion, which is essentially a substitute for, or politics, which is a substitute for religion, that's where you draw the line. Since you're so interested in spreading misinformation, here are the facts. Again, this is Chelsea offering this up voluntarily. Nobody dug through her phone, and this is Chelsea, right? She says, I am a Canadian citizen. Okay, my condolences. I can't vote in America. Okay, so then I guess you shouldn't have an opinion on any, or at least have somewhat of an educated opinion on things, or be strong enough to deal with backlash. I'm not MAGA. I'm a liberal / Democrat. And when I become a citizen, I will vote for a president who believes in equal human rights. Nothing particularly overwhelming about this, or intelligent, or insightful. Very, very kind of high level, very much just top of the line, surface level of what liberals today believe in, which is equal human rights. Well, we all do, first of all, number one, right? No matter what side of the aisle you stand on, no one believes in treating people differently based on race. At least most people don't, although that's another topic for another day. But what we're talking about here is equal rights under the law. Yeah, everybody should be treated equally under the law, and there is no law on the books at all that anyone can point to that treats people differently based on race or religion or sex. Doesn't exist. Now, what you may say is, well, people are the actual law in practice targets a community disproportionately. Well, yeah, that's the way all laws work. Every law is not going to be evenly distributed perfectly among blacks, whites, socioeconomic status. That's not the way laws work. They just mean that everyone has to adhere to this particular law. That's what that means. And when people say it's equal human rights, what human rights exist or laws exist, again, I'll ask, that do not treat people equally or that someone's treated differently under the law. Again, in execution, you're going to have disproportionate people from different races, ages, everything. The repercussions of that law are going to affect different demographics differently. That's the way laws go. But equal human rights, maybe she's talking about trans, I don't know. To that, I would say, yeah, so everybody has to just abide by the same laws. Okay. So if you were born a man, you have to be a man in men's sports. If you're a woman, you have to be a woman in women's sports. Okay. I don't understand the problem here. What she probably means is special privileges is what she's probably really referring to if she was being totally honest. She probably couldn't even articulate exactly what she means by equal human rights. Again, that's what she's talking about. That's why she left Twitter for the moment, because she cannot talk about this in any kind of intelligent way. Clearly. So, all right, I'll stop there. I probably insinuated a lot of people, and it's the way it goes. I mean, I give you my opinion too. See, I volunteered it. No one is here forcing me to do this, and I'm willing to civilly talk to anybody about this kind of stuff. And now that it's crossed over into wrestling, you see who has the balls to talk about it and the people that don't. All right, so you may love Chelsea Green. I'm not talking about a wrestling character, but she seems a bit soft on this topic. So, all right, everybody, talk soon. If you want more long-form audio, follow me, the WWE Podcast, everywhere that you can.